Town Hartford. Guys, thanks, Rachel.
Week 3 begins in the Cheshire home invasion trial of Stephen Hayes, but now the lawyer for Hayes' co-defendant is due in court.
Fox Connecticut's Tom Lewis is live in New Haven with more on what we can expect today. Tom?
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, everybody. This could be a very telling week in the murder trial of Stephen Hayes. The prosecution could call their final witness today, then they'll turn it over to the defense. They may call a couple of witnesses. The judge has said that the case could go to the jury as early as Friday, but now we've got this very complicated mix going on. Jeremiah Donovan, who is the attorney for Joshua Komisarjevsky, if you recall, had an impromptu news conference on the steps of the courthouse here last Friday that rankled a lot of feathers, including angering the judge in this case. It made the Petit and Hawke families very upset, understandably so. And now Jeremiah Donovan, the attorney for Joshua Komisarjevsky, could be facing some contempt of court charges.
Last week's court proceedings ended with a bizarre appearance before the cameras by the attorney representing Joshua Komisarjevsky, claiming his client did not sodomize 11-year-old Michaela before she was killed.
That just is not what happened. I know this is probably small solace, but it's just something that I felt that I had to say. And as you know, I can't talk to the Petit family directly, so I'm talking through you all.
But those comments set off a firestorm and possibly a contempt of court charge. Were Donovan's comments part of a violation of the judge's gag order? Well, if so, former Chief State's Attorney Chris Moran says any decision could be delayed until after both trials are over.
Most of the case law in this area and most of the practices of courts in the past have been to do all they can to keep this from having any effect upon the case at hand, the original case at hand. So I think you're going to see the court take extra efforts to make sure that this is completely separate.
Jeremiah Donovan also angered the judge because he left his cell phone on. The cell phone went off with a ringtone of joy to the world. That's hardly appropriate given the sensitive nature of the subject matter inside. So you can certainly understand why the Petit and Hawke families were very disturbed by what Donovan said outside the courthouse. Now, Chris Moran has gone on to say he's a very savvy defense lawyer, so never count him out. But again, those contempt of court charges, that could happen. But you heard him say possibly after these two trials are done. Again, for today, prosecution will have more witnesses. Defense gets a chance. Don't know yet if they're going to put Stephen Hayes on the stand at all. That would be very interesting to see if they choose that strategy. Court is now open. It will be open shortly, actually, and then we'll find out exactly what the proceedings look like for today. For now, live outside the courthouse in New Haven, Tom Lewis, Fox Connecticut.
Thanks, Tom.
And Fox Connecticut has you covered every step of the way in this trial. Reporter Lori Perez and the Current's Helen Urbanus are tweeting live from inside the courtroom as it happens. Also, the Current's Elaine Griffin will be posting extensive stories online at ctnow.com throughout the day. You can read all of those. Now to some disturbing new details that are emerging in the death of that Watertown soldier who was killed in Iraq. The U.S. military is now saying that an American soldier is being held in Iraq in connection with the fatal shooting.